Good morning, all. Camelback Trading 2724 coming to you this Friday morning, November 15th. We're looking at the daily chart of the SPY ETF. And we're starting with this because we have a continuing pattern that's going to continue this morning, right? We're in a 9-day balance, but within that 9-day balance, we basically have three sets of balance, and they've all basically gone the same way. Right, 9 days ago, gap higher, traded sideways. Day 4, gapped higher, traded sideways. Day 7, didn't gap high, but we went higher, traded sideways. And now this morning, looking to gap higher again to all-time highs. Now, even though we've done this little progression, so far, the range is very tight, right? It was 310 to 306, $4 range in this 9-day balance. So I think today is pretty important to see. One of two things is going to happen. We're going to gap high to all-time highs, and right now my all-time high is in the pre-market session right now at 310.70. So the all-time high right now is in the pre-market. But one of two things will happen. We're going to gap higher and then go through the normal progression what we've had where we'll trade sideways the rest of the day, and then Monday stay within that range, or we'll gap higher, maybe get a trend day up and continue another leg higher. If we do that, well, then we don't know how high we're going to go. If we don't, again, we'll eventually get sucked into that balance and stretch it. Remember I said, here's the weekly now. One time framing up. This is going to be 6 weeks by the end of today. That's incredibly, incredibly impressive. However, this week, prior to today, we really weren't getting much extension like we did the previous weeks. Well, right now we have that chance, right? We had trouble. After we took out last week's high, we had trouble getting over it. Well, right now, they're attempting to get over it and stay over it and get some extension. So, question is this a new leg higher or just another chance? Remember I said yesterday what I'd like to see is to gap higher, to get away from this balance, but fail up at the top and come right back into it and give us some excess to give us possibly a hint of some short-term excess. Now, we can still get that today. It would be nice to have something to lean on if we were to gap higher, quickly fill the gap, never test the day's high, and give us something to lean on for excess. That remains to be seen if we're going to get that or the new leg higher. Here's your profile, same thing. So let's go over destination. So right now, with just over an hour to go prior to the opening, we're still going to use, I'll still use yesterday's high. I mean, there's still an hour to go. Anything could happen at these levels. 309.64 was yesterday's high, and then 309.99 was the all-time high. Right now, we're above both of them. Above that, we have nothing except 310.70, which is the pre-market all-time high. For the downside, if we gap higher, we're going to use 309.64, which was yesterday's high. Then we would have the price probe. Remember, we went out with a price probe yesterday. I apologize, I don't have yesterday's range in it. There we go, I'm sorry. We have the price probe from yesterday. From D's high, D or L's high, I forgot what it was. But anyway, it's at 309.46. Then we have 9 wide at 309.12. And then yesterday's low of 308.09. So game plan for this morning. Again, we're gapping to all-time highs. What do you expect from that? I'm not sure. Do I want to be a buyer on the opening right away? Probably not, especially the higher we open from yesterday's high. I don't want to be a buyer for the simple fact that you might get entire overnight is long, you can get some counter auction. So if we do get that counter auction and hold yesterday's gap, then you can get involved. In fact, what I would want to hold even more than yesterday's than the gap is the all-time high from the 12th. So right now I'm looking at 310.44. Well, for the open around here, come in, test the top of that, and then come back above it, then maybe I take a call position because we have two things to lean on then. The previous all-time high and yesterday's high and filling the gap. If you open up here, come get accepted back into this 3-day range, which is really a 9-day range, even though we might hold the gap initially, I probably wouldn't be a buyer right away. If we were to hold the gap then and then get back above it, again, I'd rather pay higher and have more confirmation that this thing wants to go high and possibly have a trend day than to get sucked into it. Now, same thing on the sell side. Do I want to sell it up here? Probably not. I'm not looking to sell the all-time high. I'd love to, but the odds of that happening aren't good. So even if we open higher and then fail, even if I miss the trade, I don't care. I'd rather know we're accepted back into this range. I'd rather know we close the gap and get accepted back into yesterday's range. Well, then I certainly have a lot more to lean on if I decide to short it then, right? Then I would have yesterday's high again and the previous all-time high again. Plus, you want to see how it reacts at last week's high, which is 309.65. So a lot going on this morning. There's no reason to 9:30 to just jump into a trade. Good luck trading today. Have a great day. We'll recap the day and the week at 4 p.m.